I work for a property preservation company. It's not glamorous. We handle foreclosed homes, clean them out, secure them, winterize them. Most of the time it's quiet, sometimes sad, sometimes boring. But every now and then, you get a house that doesn't just feel empty, it feels wrong. In 2020, I was sent to clear out a foreclosed property deep in rural upstate New York. The kind of dying town with one gas station, crumbling roads, boarded up stores, and an oppressive silence. The house sat alone on a dirt road, surrounded by woods. According to the file, an elderly woman had passed away there, and no heirs had claimed it. The utilities had been shut off for over a year. I arrived early that Monday with my gear and box truck. The house looked weathered but intact, just choked with weeds and vines. I had to shove the swollen front door open. Inside, it was musty, still stale. Furniture sat like it had been frozen in time. I began my routine photos notes. That's when my work phone rang, no service bars, yet it buzzed anyway. Unknown caller, the screen read. I answered. Nothing, just faint static. I hung up, shrugged it off, and continued. The living room was crammed with heavy furniture, lace curtains, porcelain figures like stepping into a time capsule. Down the hallway, the smell shifted, mildew dust, and something faintly metallic. One bedroom was stripped bare except for a sagging mattress. Another was a sewing room with spools everywhere. A corkboard on the wall caught my eye, covered with dozens of old obituary clippings, all pinned with eerie precision. No explanation, no familiar names. The master bedroom had a rotary phone yellowed plastic coiled cord. A relic. It couldn't possibly work. The line had been cut for a year. That's when my phone rang again. Same caller. Same static. But then a whisper so faint it made my skin crawl. Don't answer the phone in the bedroom. The line went dead. I stood frozen in the hallway. The house was silent. Too silent. I tried calling my supervisor, but the call failed. No service again. The signal flickered like something didn't want me to reach the outside. I pushed through my fear and kept working, boxing up items, eyes darting constantly toward the hallway. Something was watching me. I could feel it. Then I heard it. Not my phone. The rotary phone in the bedroom. It rang loud and mechanical, that unmistakable shrill ring from a dead device that shouldn't ring. My body tensed as I stepped toward the bedroom. The phone sat there on the nightstand, vibrating slightly with each ring. It rang again and again. I didn't answer. I couldn't. Eventually, it stopped. I should have left then, but I still hadn't checked the basement. Pride or stupidity, I'm not sure which kept me going. I opened the basement door in the kitchen, flashlight shaking in my grip. The air down there was thick with mold and rust. Shelves lined the walls, cluttered with paint cans and junk. But in the far corner, a gray cordless phone sat on a table. A newer one. Dusty, dead except next to it was a stack of old notebooks. I picked one up. Each page had a name, a date, and a sentence. Lena H., July 3rd, 2019. Rang once, didn't answer. Carl M., September 12th, 2019. Picked up. Warned him. Dozens of entries like that. My blood went cold. I dropped the notebook and spun around, heart hammering. Sure, someone was down there with me, watching, hiding. I bolted up the stairs, every step echoing with panic. I didn't finish the job. I drove straight back to the office, pale and shaking, and filed a vague report, said the property was unsafe, possible squatters. I didn't mention the phones or the voice. 2 days later, a coworker named Mark went to finish the job. I didn't tell him anything specific. That afternoon, he texted me. The phone in the bedroom rang while I was in there. What the hell? I called him immediately. He said he didn't answer, it freaked him out too much. The next day, Mark quit. Just vanished from the job, no notice. I looked him up later. He's alive, posting online, but we've never spoken again. My boss reported possible trespassers to the police. They searched. Found nothing. No one. No signs of anyone living there. But I know what I heard, what I saw. That house wasn't just empty, it was waiting. Watching, calling, and whatever was on the other end of that line. It wasn't done.